Misfits, especially, actually having great strength here as well. So no surprise that Misfits has picked it.
You know, I just sit there and I think about these teams, and I just can't. I'm like you. I wrestle with the idea of who can walk away with the victory here. There's no clear winner, but what are some things that automatically jump out to you that you want to see from these teams to earn success?
I think we're going to see pretty prolonged fights. I think that these are two teams that kind of draw things out a little bit longer. But recently, I would say that Misfits has kind of gone against that edge. You've seen them getting some great combos in. So they may be looking for the blow-up potential compared to the long, sustained fights of Fnatic.
All right, well, watch out for that. Here is the draft. That means we have officially begun. Misfits taking on Fnatic on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Immediately, we see this pesky guy consistently banned out. Fnatic will get rid of Tassadar. On the other side, Misfits gets rid of Ragnaros.
This might be fast. These guys know each other very, 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 very well. So Malfurion is already going to get locked in. Obviously, you can see that the Ragnaros on the other side, it provides a lot of power here. Neither team. I think that this could be consistent bans throughout the entire series, never mind Tomb of the Spider Queen, these two.
Okay, well, then we'll go over and look at Misfits. A couple things to think about is we did see Chromie on this map in particular from Fnatic. They did pick Malfurion first. One thing you have to worry about, though, is that the Ariel has not been picked up, which kind of initiated Fnatic to go that route. Here is Zarya and Gul'dan as the first two picks for Misfits. They get Zarya, they get Gul'dan with wave clear.
I mean, I have to compliment you. Before we even came on stream, you were like, Misfits, man, they're going Zarya. And you knew it right out of the gate, and yet it's a powerful pick for them. Asuob's on that. He loves it.
Yeah, they were one of the first couple of teams to start pointing Zarya into the mix-up. Happened, I believe, last September. In particular, they played it on this battleground, and they also played it on Infernal Shrines and Battlefield of Eternity. They just really like the ability to sit down and just play around these team fights and just have the Zarya player save their teammates when they get engaged, get the energy up, and then go in for an engage.
It means that now with the Zarya pickup, they're less likely to go down that wombo combo path. I mean, yeah, Gul'dan is there, he has Horrify, so it's kind of still more pokey and sustained fights. Tychus and ETC on the other side here, so Tychus' pickup I think is great here for Fnatic. In the hands of Quacknix, they know that Zarya is unlikely to be alone in that warrior role.
Yeah, this forces another warrior, obviously, to come up from Misfits, too. And like you mentioned, it's kind of hard to run Zarya as a solo warrior, but Tychus can burn through those shields and decide to commit fully to the engage. Of course, Breeze, given the ETC, you're not going to have a bad day in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So, back to Misfits. What do they ban out here? There's nothing really illustrated from Fnatic right now. You have Tychus, ETC, and Malfurion, all heroes that you can build a foundation around. You don't have a good feel for what they're going to be moving into, so you can elect to get rid of combo builds here. And in fact, Jaina is being highlighted here for Misfits. Get rid of the possible ETC into Jaina Blizzard.
Run two in the Spider Queen. The big question is do they try and sneak out a Chromie? I don't think they do.
I don't think they do either.
Not with this comp, and you know, against Misfits, it would seem a bit vulnerable. I think they'd be able to play around it pretty well. And also, Zarya shields work so well against the telegraphed attacks of someone like that.
Yeah, they do. You have the advantage of range, and the only way that it starts to work is if a third and fourth hero gets picked up that has no mobility, and then Chromie can dictate it. But yes, I agree with what we have on the field right now. I wouldn't pick Chromie into this. You have to find out what supports can be picked up. Johanna will be banned out. I like that a lot. Johanna is one of those tanks that just allows Zarya to sit on her backline and worry about those squishies instead of having to worry about the tank engages, so you can save important cooldowns, but she also provides a little bit more wave clear for that 4-man rotation they have. Obviously, Gul'dan can go to the bottom here. Johanna would have been a great natural fit to fit in with Zarya, so great ban for Fnatic.
Yeah, that's our second Johanna ban of the HGC Europe so far, and it always comes in that second phase. The first time was Team Expert, I believe, against Diamond Skin. So it goes to show, you know, how well these guys know one another, and that always could be a potential.
We're getting to the portion of the draft where strategies start to evolve and you get a feel for what they want to go for. I see Gul'dan, I see wave clear already for Zarya, I see decent hold against Poke as well. Wouldn't mind having an extra damage here, and then I want to see their tank soon. You still have Muradin available. We saw really great Muradin play earlier with Misfits, I believe, on Friday, so that could be the choice. They elect to go for a support here and Thrall. Are they trying to bait a Chromie? Because this is how you bait a Chromie here with the Ariel. Yeah,
I was Ariel and Thrall, interesting. I almost wrote in my head Goel even. I don't know why, because obviously it's his real name. Like, never mind, anyway. Over on the side of Fnatic, baiting it is an interesting thought.
Yeah, because we know that that's a scenario where Chromie works. When there is an Ariel available, you force Aegis. You also get the mix-up between Gul'dan and Ariel. So it's also obviously a good foundation here, but it could make Fnatic think, hey, do we want to move into Chromie? What I sit here and look at is a 5th pick, if they do go that route. What would Misfits get for the flank? They don't have really incredible dive. They would need maybe a Greymane, but they need another Warrior in the mix-up. Granted, they could go Warrior-less, but that feels like it would get beat down slowly by the poke from Chromie.
I honestly don't know what Fnatic goes here. I'm trying to muddle around in my brain and figure things out. Leoric and Li Ming, maybe?
Okay.
Oh, they will go Chromie.
That felt like that was the way to go here. I want to know what Misfits goes here, because they need some way to deal with it.
They had to knew it was going to come.
Yeah, like that's an obvious bait.
From
like you pick Gul'dan there, you get the idea of it going through Fnatic. It's almost like Inception at that point. And then you know that, all right, well, Ariel is the one support that Chromie just excels against. So there has to be something here that makes them jump out. And we saw Greymane yesterday, and Fnatic played so well against it. But the thing is, they actually had Johanna to help with the peeling. The peeling here is a little less as strong. Malfurion can get some roots. But I need another Warrior for that. I can think Artanis. Artanis makes sense, but you have ETC and Leoric to stop that for Fnatic.
Artanis, what else is in that pool?
Chen could be insane. I would go bonkers for Chen actually here.
That could be good.
That would be insane.
He basically takes no damage against Chromie. It's funny.
Yeah, he can actually tank it for the most part. Nubrek is here for the... I don't know if I like the Nubrek.
I like that. 100% win rate in HGC Europe. Good job, Chromie, with your one game.
Best hero confirmed. She did die once, though, so if she dies another time, I don't think Fnatic will ever play her again. Okay, so Nubrek does give them some control and helps out with the poke. Nubrek can actually see the telegraph attacks that come in their way and tank it for his team, so his team can go for the engage. Cocoon maybe the go for, but I don't think it's the call here. I think you go for full dive and you just get on top of Chromie. If you have Chromie maneuvering around, she's not getting the kiting she wants. Yeah,
it definitely feels like one of the better warriors to try and get that move going, or the Nubrek on towards a Chromie. But let's see how Shrimpy's going to play this out, because he was the playmaker in that game when he was actually playing Chromie, doing a lot of damage, and he certainly could be here as well.
Well, don't forget to tweet us, guys. HGC, use the hashtag @HeroesEsports. We want to know what you are thinking. In fact, we already know what Kitschy is thinking. Calling in sick tomorrow because hashtag HGC causes lack of sleep is a valid reason, right? Right? If I was your boss, I would say, that's cool, man. I'm going to pay you anyways. So thank you for watching HGC on your sick day. Hope you get better.
Yeah.
Our teams are getting ready to go here on Tomb of Spider Queen. Again, just a few more thoughts. I more think about it, we saw it once already today, and I feel like Cocoon just makes sense again. You get the Cocoon on Malfurion. The problem is with Zarya being in the mix-up, Nubrek is the main tank warrior to get these engages in, and there is a Tychus on the other side of the team. And Tychus, he can do pretty well against a Nubrek. Granted, a Nubrek has a low health pool, so you don't get as much value, but he has such a low health pool that even though you don't get much value from Tychus, you're still eliminating his health bar.
You're chewing through a warrior that's gone deep.
Yeah. Exactly. So we'll see how it mixes up here. I would go Cocoon. I think Locust Form makes more sense if you just want to all in the Chromie and let your team do the thing in the background.
All right. Well, I still can't call it. I can't. You grabbed out of me. Misfits maybe, but I don't know in this series, to be honest with you. I don't know who is going to win it fully. It's
going to come down to Zarya and her timing. So we'll find out how a matchup will break down in game number 1. Tomb of the Spider Queen here. Misfits taking on Fnatic.
The fixture of the week for me. Absolutely the fixture of the week. Tell your friends, tell your family, hashtag HGC Europe. And to the left-hand side, we will have our blue team. And it will be indeed Misfits. With Darmok playing Thrall, we will have Nurok playing Zarya. And we will have Splendor on Auriel. And we will have Hasuobs actually playing the Gul'dan. And it was Blumby on the Anubarak.
And to the far right, Fnatic for the red here. We have Breeze playing the ETC. We have Quacknix playing the Tychus, pulling it out. Schwimpy showing off that Chromie, man. And he played such a good Chromie yesterday. Smexy with the Malfurion. And last but not least, Wubby on Leoric.
Get them blocks in. Every little thing is going to matter here between these two teams. These are currently the best two consistent rosters in the entire region, and they are about to clash in what's sure to be a great best of 5.
The keys to victory for Misfits are relatively simple in my eyes. Force reactions from Fnatic. If you get Fnatic to ever be in a situation where they have to maneuver aggressively, you might be able to get the pickoffs, but just be careful because they are a coordinated team. Getting the lead and getting some pressure could be great too. Already though, we have a fight in the middle of the map.
Yep, just going to move away from that ETC out, and Breeze took a lot of damage. What's great is that for Fnatic, I feel like they got a lot of what they really, really wanted. You know, you got Breeze on ETC. Smexy got his Malfurion, which he's very well versed in. We saw the Chromie power yesterday coming out also strongly, or was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. But regardless, Misfits here, they still have a lot of power behind their comp as well. You called the Zarya very early on, even before we were on broadcast. That's how early that was. So yeah, we know that they've got some comfort here too.
Yeah, they certainly do. The good news is I'm starting to fall in the camp of how good Ariel is against ETC with the Detainment Strike. It's really easy to read, and the cast animation is instant, so you're able to really knock away from ETC from getting the engages. It's just unfortunate here that he has to deal with the pressure of the Chromie. Now, if Splendor goes Aegis here, he will be able to counteract the temporal loop that we've already seen from Fnatic, but it all comes down to the mind games of Schwimpy and how he pulls it out and deals with the Zarya.
I mean, you could see there just that moment where Blumby, yes, he took a lot of damage and is now out, but the first shot from Chromie with a shield from Zarya, it basically did nothing. So spell armor alone is very good, but shields from Zarya is going to help work wonders against what we're seeing here from Chromie.
You just also saw the strength of Bronze Talons against Anub'arak, a hero that is spell shield resistant against Chromie. Chromie, though, brings in a massive auto attack with that Bronze Talon. So while Anub'arak is theoretically a counter to Chromie, that Bronze Talons pick really allows for Chromie to have a tool to deal with the engagement of Anub'arak. So he has to be careful and make sure that when he gets these engages, he isn't allowing her to reset that Q.
This bot lane is going to go on for a while. Thrall versus Leoric. Won't be much there. We're keeping our eyes on this 4 versus 4 at the moment. As long as Misfits continues to just group up here with the crown on Gul'dan, it's going to be very nice. Looking to go into Anub'arak though. Does he have a burrow? No, it doesn't look like he does.
The time trap into the wind-up. There's the Q, the auto attack. The shield comes out, and a nice heal from Splendor as well will keep Anub'arak alive.
It sort of feels like the time trap saved him.
Yeah, those are moments like that where you set yourself up to stop someone from ganking you, and then they go for the engage, and then they go to retreat, and they walk into a time trap, which buys their team enough time to get cooldowns up. Time trap is definitely a weird ability to play around.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll see how that continues on throughout this. Fnatic putting on some pressure on towards Hasu. He will move away. I was expecting Hasu to be playing the Zarya, but it seems like just that little switch around. Darmok hasn't had a good time here against Wubby. Jeez, that drain life, that drain hope ability is a powerful one.
It's okay though, he'll be able to heal on up with those Frostwolf pucks after a while. It seems like he went for a trade that he thought would be beneficial, and maybe a Drain Hope got the best of him with the Leoric bringing out the Q. Alright, so we continue our rotations here. In terms of wave clear, it's pretty favored into Hasawabs and Splendor. They have really solid wave clear, especially with the Q build here from Splendor, and then Hasawabs just using the Fell Flame. So it's on Fnatic just to try and match them.
Most definitely. Fealty until death at level 4 as well on the side of Leoric, so he'll gain so much sustain down in that bottom lane for a long time. Zarya turned into the bottom, and she will put pressure on towards Leoric down there, who will Wraith walk away, so he's okay. And meanwhile, we will see what's going on up towards the top again.
Looking at Chromie's build here, she has gone Dragon's Eye once again, so Fnatic really seems to favor that extra 25% damage that you connect. It's great against Oreo in particular. Oh, hang on here, getting low on HP. Great against Oreo in particular, because when the Aegis comes out from the temporal loop, you can actually just set that up as your new temporal loop, and you just follow up on the kill after the Aegis concludes. So it is a set duration.
It's a slow and steady start for both teams at the moment. Neither team, I think it comes from the fact that both teams respect each other a lot, although that being said, Splendor can't lock down, that's first blood. Jeez, I eat my words. It's a slow start, they get for the kill to start things off. And a second! Oh, Zarya falls Fnatic with a really nice start.
Fnatic getting their pickoffs, and the thing is they can go for a turn-in here as they have 47 gems on their purse. Breeze will be the one to secure the turn-in, and now with the Web Weavers in a scenario to push in the middle and the bottom lane, they can get a lot of value here, especially with Wubby already clearing out the minions of Darkmoth.
They've opened the door of Fnatic. They've opened the door where it's all that stalemate for so long, grabbing these 2 little kills here and there. They know exactly how to play this map. Remember, Misfits picked this map, and when I heard that they had, I was a little bit surprised. Fnatic traditionally has always been super strong on this map, and Thrall will fall as well to the bottom with a gank here from Schwimpy. Oof.
Darkmog seems to be having an uncharacteristic bad game here. He's not really able to hold off against Wubby, and he's been kind of bullied out of lane.
Yeah, actually, I didn't stress the importance of that kill enough because he lost around 25 gems and beyond. So that's not only a brilliant pickup in terms of the kill, but an amazing pickup in terms of gem denial.
Yeah, it makes it much harder for the opposing team when they win a team fight to make a comeback if they can't unlock their own web weavers. So amazing pickup and a good point there from Kolaris. Fnatic now almost hitting level 10, already clearing the bottom wave as well as the top lane, and they are seconds away from hitting level 10. Now, we did have Temporal Loop used already, but it's up in 20 seconds, and there will be a few more heroics available for Fnatic.
Oh, a great little pressure play that we're seeing here from Fnatic, really bringing it to Misfits at the moment. Blumby getting caught out for the moment, and yeah, doesn't take much damage even from all of that, thanks to a shield as well. And in OG Chromie, Chris might be pretty angry. No.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see her in competitive play too, but Fnatic, don't be too good with her, man. I don't want my girl getting nerfed in the next coming weeks here, so let's try not to be too aggressive. Something also to stay here is that we have ETC going into a power slide and calling it. Automatically, you're having Smexy drop a root, and that opens the door for Chromie to drop her W. She's getting a lot of Dragon's Eye value out because the team is setting it up so well. This is something that you can naturally do at home with a Zool Bone Prison, but Fnatic is going for a different layer here. They're getting their tank in there, their Malfurion, and then automatically Chromie follows it up.
It just hurts. I mean, like, a level 11 has hit, reaching through time has been established. I was just about to talk about it before it came in, but it's now she's just shelling away from so far away, and they still don't have their level 10s here, the Misfits. Maybe when that comes in, maybe they can make something happen from it, but it's going to be tough.
And it gets tougher. Level 11, reaching through time, has poked out the Wahoo here. Now we are at level 10. Let's see what our team will be doing. Expulsion Zone is available. Expulsion Zone is actually fantastic. If you just drop it on Chromie, she gets knocked away and she can't pass her Q. You have the Horrify as well if there is a Temporal Loop engage that you don't want to waste the Ages on. And Anubrak does get the Swarm here, so we can go for dive and help out with a mild DPS and have really solid sustain. Problem though, Fnatic just earned another turn in.
All right, so we'll see that Crystal Aegis against Temporal Loop effect come into play again. What Fnatic wants to do is they want to bait out the Crystal Aegis somewhere else, and Sunder, I guess that's how they're going to be flanking, my friend.
Yeah, Sunder's rate for one interrupting Mosh Pit. They don't really have too many tools except for the Horrify, but you don't want to solo that. So you get that, and you also connect with Chromie when she goes up for the Temporal Loop. You also have a solid engage. I still think it's heavily underrated, Sundering, just because Earthquake can be so good. But if you need that slight stun, this is definitely the heroic to go for.
It's big damage. It's a big burst of damage as well. So, yeah, you're right about that. They've got to be careful here. Just slowly working this down. Won't be taking a shot or two. Oh, did you see Wubby coming in from the left?
Yeah,
just in case anybody was like lingering about there next to that fort.
Wanted to bring in the Entomb and set up its team for a kill or two. So we have all 3 forts taken out as Fnatic keeps up with the pressure. Darkmark is clearing top. I feel like the main goal here for Misfits is just to clear these web weavers and then start setting up a fight. You need to do something relatively soon here. You can wait it out for a little bit, but you're already losing keep walls. You have a keep wall down on the top, and this one down here on the bottom is down to half health.
The question for me, Trixler, and you know, we can ponder over it, is Misfits had to have known with their start of draft, with the Ariel, that Chromie was coming out. You mentioned it in the draft and it was very astute. And now, we haven't yet seen the play come into action to deal with it, and I don't know if we're gonna yet.
We'll see if it'll come out here. Also, taking damage in the backline there. Quacknix does get caught. The Horrify to follow it up. Breeze can't escape. And there goes the front line. The entire roster of Fnatic is forced to try and retreat. There's the engage. Misfits showing some life. Nice Entomb there to block out Darkmog. A pseudo force wall. Will it be enough, though, as Blumby is going for a chase?
Yeah, just can't find anything at the back there. But what was most important is the expulsion zone.
Yeah.
Beautiful expulsion zone there from Neurok to lock in those 2 frontliners and bring them down fast. Well, Tychus as well as, who else is there? ETC. So, yeah, really, really good pickoff.
That it was, and Fnatic pulls back. They start grabbing some mercenary camps to help with this web weaver push that is coming their way. This is something that we talked about earlier. Their wave clear is mostly on the Leoric when it comes to dealing with these web weavers. Granted, Tyke's can help burn down the actual web weaver itself, and there can be some deep breaths mixed in there from Chromie, but they will take some pressure here just based on their comp.
Yeah, they're fighting back now on Misfits, so we've got a game on our hands. They got themselves a web weaver turn in. It didn't come at the sacrifice of, say, like Fnatic going for a boss elsewhere, so these gems were not wasted, like we've seen in a couple of our HGC series as of late here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And Misfits can bring down some towers, catch up in experience, and be in an alright spot.
Alright, Fnatic moves in. Wants to help with the web weaver. Temporal Loop is available if they want to go for an engage. Hasawabs is here on the left. Nurok is actually really quick with these deep breaths. I'm sorry, these shields that he's giving his teammates. Oh, wait a minute. Darkmog picked off in the top lane there? Was that by Wubby and Quacknix?
Yeah, they're going to pick him up, and I think they could do a bit more damage. No, it doesn't look like it. Here comes ETC to the left-hand side. Shrimpy is in the thick of things as well here, trying to do some damage. Wubby taking a lot of damage. Nurok catches him with a particle grenade there after taking the talents, buffing that a little bit. Crystal Aegis! Oh my god, Gul'dan! You tried to get safe, but no, you are a sitting duck, my friend, as Nurok here taking so much damage and is next to fall with the mosh pit!
Gonna be getting Zarya as well. That's 40 gems, 9 more as well if they take out a Nubrak. There it is. The patience here for Fnatic pays off brilliantly there as they take out 3 members. Darkmog to start was the 4th, and the awesome job there with the Aegis coming in on a temporal loop into the follow-up from Shrimpy.
Yeah.
You can just tell that he knows how strong his character is against this Ariel.
They'll take boss from that, but let's take a look once again at how that unfolded, because that all started here with some interesting little moves. You can watch, actually, Hasawabs it did hit his Horrify during all of that, but from that point on, they felt like they had to retreat. Thrall died up towards the top here to all of this. They wanted to try and collapse on Wubby, pick up those gems, but here comes Breeze, putting Gul'dan in a terrible position there. And from that point on, trying to save him whilst they got Leoric up towards the top. That Crystal Aegis is almost a casket there for Gul'dan.
Yeah, it's a really hard there for an Ariel to deal with that. So let's go ahead and head back into the game where already we have the boss pushing the top lane, putting pressure on the keep. Misfits in a dire need to hold this. You never want to deal with catapult pressure on this battleground in particular. Nurok is helping out with the shields. There goes a Nubrak backing up. Hasawab will pop the Horrify, but doesn't really get the engage he wants. Wubby could be here. Darkmog is retreating. He still has Sundering.
An uncharacteristically difficult game for Darkmog here. He actually got caught in the roots at the front of that keep, and there could have been follow-up from it. Unfortunately for Shrimpy, I guess he just didn't have his abilities available at the time, but he's died off a few times in lanes, and that has really stumped Misfits a little bit here. Wubby has done a very good job at shutting down Thrall.
Yeah, that he has. Something that you don't normally hear about Leoric, but this Leoric is just absolutely crushing in the lanes whenever he matches against Darkmog. 17 to 15, Misfits is going to be hitting 16, and this is their chance to make a play. We have seen them clear a web weaver phase and then go for an engage, but right now Fnatic is not giving them the tools here. Fnatic is on their side of the battleground, dealing with mercenaries and minions pushing into them, getting control back into their favor, and now there's nothing really threatening on the battleground that Fnatic has to worry about. They can dance around Misfits all day.
Yeah, I like that Hasawabs' Gul'dan build is like full power, level 7 and 13 going into the fell armor, etc. and stuff like that. So he's just wanting to have a little bit more sustain with all of the things that 13 brings, but also the power behind that level 7 means that he's got some burst if he needs it, and oh boy, can Gul'dan hurt people.
That he can. He certainly can take out opponent's members. Looks like Tychus has also picked up the Titan Grenade here, so very good for chunking down a Nubrak in particular, just helping out with these fights. The pressure on the bottom right is connecting, but Breeze right above this is looking for an engage here, especially with Wubby floating around the front, but a nice hold there by Nurok in particular, just being available to pop out an explosion zone. Breeze and Wubby decides to pull back as that choke is too scary to dive through.
I'm glad that Misfits was able to take that fort towards the bottom. It means now that that lane can naturally push itself a little bit further, so when they eventually get another web weaver turn in, if at all, that will be another strong point of contention for them compared to something that just brushes against the fort and then chills out from there. But oh, I love the level 18 coming out from Shrimpy. It gives them so much more space control, right?
Oh, Adoral Anomaly. What a fun talent. First off, it's wonderful in sieging, and second, it's great for stopping flanks. You see already Shrimpy is throwing down time traps in areas where there are chokes. One on the bottom left, one behind her, so she has one always to run to. It's basically an anchor for the team.
Yeah.
It does reduce your damage taking that talent. Past and future me is fantastic for just getting double Q damage. But having Enduro Anomaly makes it very hard for the opposing team to just dive at any point, which means a Nubrak will have a hard time.
Yeah, it feels like the longer you play with Chromie, a temporal loop on towards Nurok, Crystal Aegis will come out. That's the perfect timing on Crystal Aegis, looking to lock down the Nubrak. He actually gets blown up there, though, thanks to the fact that Moshpit was holding him in place. Quacknix dashes forwards, looking for AoE damage on towards Splendor and Asuobs, but they will get away with Sustain, and now they just back off. But back to the point of level 18 Chromie, or level 20 Chromie, whatever you want to call it, it feels like the longer you play with Chromie, the more you end up taking that talent. It's like, what's the thing? I'm doing enough damage.
Yeah.
I'm doing big damage. What's the thing that's going to protect me even more? And it is that Anomaly talent.
It's even better on push maps, because now you get Web Weavers and you put traps behind the Web Weaver, so your team gets to siege away and protect you while Chromie does her thing. So yeah, I agree with you. It's one of those talents that why not take so much control? At face value, it may not be as strong, but in-game value, it blows up potential for you.
Oh yeah, it's great.
19-17, our team is pushing, and they're going for keeps now, Kalaris.
All right, let's see what they can do with this. Web Weavers descend once again here. And Uberak, you're going to have to be careful about how far he goes in here on Blumby. Dartmok almost gets hit by that. Here comes Commandeer Odin, though, Trixler.
Yep, and this is where they get even more siege potential here, as we're going to have our Tychus pushing in, going for Nurok Quacknix with the die there. Maneuvers just great. Dartmok is stuck in an entomb here. Chromie applies some damage. Hey, here's the temporal loop. The Sun Ring comes out. Dartmok, though, does get pulled back, and that is 4 members taken out. Fnatic marches towards victory here, looking for the core damage. Will they gain it? Yes, they will, especially with Web Weavers joining them.
Fnatic confirms my suspicions. They still have strong mastery over this map, transitioning from 2016 on into the HGC Europe. GG! They will take the first map here against Misfits.
That they will, and you just gotta have to wonder about that draft. Obviously, Misfits saw Chromie ran yesterday. They definitely watch these games. These guys do their homework. They're some of the best in the league. And if you're going to bait out the Chromie, it felt like it was a bait. Why not have a better secret weapon there? I don't think a Nubrak really is that secret weapon.
I mean, did Sundering get any? I mean, okay, I'll say again, Dartmok had a weirdly uncharacteristic, a difficult game. Not normally that you see Dartmok in that position, but Wubby must have controlled him in those lanes that we were whilst we were watching Foreman so well.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. And I kind of wonder, do you want to go Cocoon there? Really, seriously, you just get the 5v4. You're able to pressure Chromie out, and you can go for a fight. Again, these guys are some of the best. So, you know, not knocking on their play too much, but it feels like the secret pick there. This is obviously a draft that was made to try and bait out the Chromie. Just did not work out for them.
Yeah. It seems like Miss Chromie is not a secret anymore when it comes to Tomb of the Spider Queen and Fnatic. You've got to be careful of it. Got to be. Yeah,
and you just can't pick Ariel, man. It's way too hard. All right, guys. Game number 1 has concluded between this epic series. Game 2 coming soon.